This is just a quick video, an unexpected video, but I think it should be a quite interesting video for those of you who's interested in this topic, especially so-called celebrities or people that create music, which is very rare in this day and time, especially in the Black community, because the majority of the so-called musicians in the Black community do not create. Now, in jazz, there's a lot of jazz artists that create their music. Country and Western people create their music. Blues create their music. But R&B is obsolete. And in hip hop, their music is not original. It's sampling. And there's people that believe that sampling in music is art. They believe that sampling is an art form. And they believe that sampling is okay. Now, in that last video I made regarding Beyonce, the worship of Beyonce, someone made a comment that said sampling is an art form. And then he says, Herbie Hancock and Quincy Jones used samplings. And then he put LOL. Now, my response to someone who thinks like this person is, I'm an artist. I was born with a gift or a talent of art. I did not have to go to art school to learn how to do art. As a matter of fact, when I took art in school, I always aced it out. Always got A in my art classes. Growing up, I hung out in the library and I hung out in the art galleries. I always created art. I've hung around some very known artists, some great artists. That was my thing growing up. That was my talent. That was my gift. So not only was I able to watch them create something from nothing, but I too also created something from nothing. And you can look at an artist's work and see a piece of that artist within that person. And it's funny because when you take an artist that create a piece of art, someone may see that art and may want to buy it. They want to know, how much do you want for that? When it comes to a true artist, it's really hard for us to set a price to our creation because it's something that came from us. It's a part of us. So it's really hard to place a price on that piece of art. And they may give you a price that to you it may seem too much, but to that artist, it's hard to really put a price on a part of you. So when it comes to an artist and me being an artist, see, I paint, I draw, I do sculpture. I create something from nothing using my own imagination. I never take someone else's creation and call it my own or call it my own art. I never do that. Now, it's just flat out stealing. But when you have other musicians like Herbie Hancock and Quincy Jones, when you have people like that sample other musicians' music, what they have to do, instead of just stealing it or taking their music, they go to that recording artist and they will get permission to use that other musician's work to build off. That musician will give them either a yes or no. And if they decide to allow them to use their their creation, then Quincy Jones and Herbie Hancock and everyone else like them have to pay a price. They actually charge them to sample their music, because now they are about to make money off of someone else's music. So why not give that person a portion of what you make? So they do it the right way. I'm not saying that there's nothing wrong with sampling, but do it the right way. Just don't steal it. Just don't take it and then say, this is my work, because it's not your work. That's theft. So I almost guarantee you that any artist that use or sample someone else's music, they actually pay for the rights to use that person's creation. So when it comes to art, art is creating something from nothing. I can go outside right now and say, if I go up in the woods, or even during the wintertime or the fall or the summer, any season, and I can just pick random objects off the ground or off the tree. I can see a tree limb or a branch that's awkward, and I would take that and actually create. I can actually create a painting, a wall hanging, a wall picture from nature. I can create that. I can take something and turn it into, I can take nothing and turn it into something. Or I can use bits and pieces of nature. I can use newspaper clippings, just different things around the house, a paper clip, and turn it into art. That's my creation. Just like when you look at the picture of this video, when you look at what is it? What do they call it? When you look at the picture of that on this video, that picture that you see is my creation. I did that. I created that. If I'm sitting down and I have a blank piece of scratch board, now artists know what scratch board is. If you don't know what it is, it's a board that's got like black Indian ink or whatever type of ink, just cover the whole board. It can be black, whatever color. And you have a pen, and you can actually, scrape the paint off that board and create a design. Okay. If I make a mistake on there, I actually create from my mistake. So when you look at a piece of art that I've done on Scratchboard, it looks abstract. It's an abstract photo or a picture, but to the person's eye, they can look at that and everybody sees something different. It's abstract. Whatever you interpret that to be, that's what it is to you, right? That's the beauty of abstract work. So when I'm doing abstract art, just like you see on the thumbnail of this video, that's my creation. I'll turn some jazz on and I'll just let my mind go. And however the pen goes, that's what I design. That's what I do. And then when I look at it, once I go back and look at that, I'm like, wow, that's interesting. And I begin to start seeing little things in that piece of artwork that I created, but it's something that came from me. Now, if someone were to take that and sample off of my work and call it theirs, it's stealing. It's stealing unless you come to me and say, can I use this to do X, Y, and Z? I may charge you, and then I may not charge you. I may just say, you know what, you can use it, but yet don't forget to acknowledge me. At least acknowledge me, right? But you have people on YouTube that take other people's work, upload it in its entirety, and then take credit for it or get paid for it. That's stealing. That's the same way if you copy or if you sample somebody's music and put it on YouTube, they're gonna flag your video, copyright infringement. That's what happens. So when it comes to art, sampling music, and stealing, art is something you create from nothing. You create something from nothing. Sampling is wrong until you actually go to that person and get permission, or you pay that person for usage to be able to use their work to create. Other than that, it's stealing, right? So feedback, tell me what you think. Until next time, I'm fearless.